Hey guys, it's Charles Austin with Liquid Blue Cabarete, still in Cabarete. I'm up here at the guard tower. We're always doing our lessons, or where we start our lessons for wing foiling as well as kiteboarding. And I always get the question about how much does it cost to get lessons for kiteboarding or wing foiling, and how does it actually work? So when you're learning this sport, it is first off an extreme sport that has a very steep learning curve compared to other sports. Essentially, you're gonna suck really bad in the beginning, and then you're gonna get quite good compared to when you started quite fast. So it's very steep compared to other sports. Let's say like surfing or even windsurfing, where with surfing, you can go out, you take, the first day you're taking a wave and you're standing up and you're there. Kiteboarding and wingfoiling, there's a lot of theoretical as well as practical and practice that you have to do before you actually get up and riding, like you're gonna see in videos and videos and photos that you might see other people doing. So generally speaking, when you're gonna learn how to kiteboard or how to wingfoil, it's gonna take you anywhere between 3 to 7 days to go from what we call zero to hero. And going from zero to hero is basically you have no water sports background. If you do, it could help you out, but if you don't, it's totally fine. And then you go from not knowing anything at all to actually having your first rides, whether that's kiteboarding on the kiteboard or foiling on the wing foil board. So even though that seems like a very short amount of time, it will feel like a lot of time. And there you're gonna be dedicating around 2 to 3 hours of your day to the lessons to do that progression. So it's in total around 6 to 10 hours, depending on how your energy levels are. There's some people, this is it's not really strength demanding, but it does, it takes a toll on you. You're out in the sun, you're using muscles you might not have used before, you're gonna be out in the water. So you're gonna be quite active for the hour that you're doing your lessons, for whether the 1, 2, or 3 hours you're doing your lessons. So you're gonna be quite tired, and it's gonna take energy out of you. But basically, most people do around 2 hours per day, and over the course of 3 to 5, 7 days, you're gonna be actually getting to the point where you're gonna be riding. And then from there, once you're riding, so once we start at the bottom, we go up, then it starts to taper off. Because then once you're riding and you're able to go back to where you started, then the progression curve sort of either flatlines, where people are gonna be doing a lot of the same, or you're gonna push yourself to learn tricks and do other things where it's gonna keep going up higher. So that's the part of learning. Now, in terms of the cost, here in the Dominican Republic, at least in Cabarete, it's gonna cost anywhere between $80 to $120 per hour with a school. When you go with a school, what you're getting the benefit of is a bit of more proven systems, more qualified instructors, and also equipment. Now, there are, just like anywhere else in the world, where there's private individuals that do lessons, which also could work out. And also the pricing might not change that much. It might be between that $80 to $120 range. But generally speaking, when someone's gonna be telling you how much does it actually cost for kiteboarding or wingfoiling lessons, they might tell you a package, but the package is sort of like a starting point. So some people just wanna experience the sport, maybe go into the sport on a specific budget, like, hey, I'm not gonna spend more than $1,000 or $500 to see if I actually like it. So there's that way of doing it, like getting a package. We offer packages, other schools offer packages, but then the reality is, and that's what we always tell everyone, just like I'm telling you in this video, is that no one really knows how long it's gonna take you to learn. So you wanna learn as quick as possible, but you also wanna learn as safe as possible. Going back to what I said in the beginning, this is an extreme sport. So you wanna make sure that you learn the safety side, understand the sport, and you build a very solid foundation so you're actually comfortable to be out there by yourself, whether you're here in the ocean or whether you're back home in the lake or wherever you might be. And there's other things than just riding that are important to know when you're learning how to do these water sports, and as some people say, these extreme water sports. It's not just riding. There's a lot that goes behind it. So in any case, if you're thinking to come down and you're planning to take lessons, we always ask, like, do you have any previous experience in water sports? Have you ever taken lessons before? Just to have a better understanding, because also a school, let's say you went somewhere else in the world, you took a few lessons, and maybe that was a year ago, maybe that was 5 years ago, then sometimes that information is gonna help the instructor start you off at a different pace or at a different rate or somewhere else in the course than starting you from zero. So that's also something important. If you've ever tried the sport and then you're gonna continue it somewhere else and you didn't really fully learn it, then you can share that information to also save on time. But essentially, when you're booking lessons, you're buying time, You're buying rental time for the equipment, you're buying time of an instructor or a coach, and then they're gonna be bringing you through the process of learning these sports, which is amazing and it's awesome. And truly gateway, life-changing sports, in my opinion. It's been something for me like that. But going, just generally imagining, if it takes you 6 to 10 hours, that's sort of a solid range to learn. It's quite fast. But then don't forget, after that, you're still learning all the time, and there's a lot of things to brush off and improve on. But this is like the general range of how long it's gonna take you to go from 0 to hero, but the journey doesn't stop. I'm still learning things every single day, and I've been riding since now 20 years. Since I was 10 years old, I was out in the water. 10, 12 years old, I was out in the water kiteboarding. So you're always gonna be learning, you're always gonna be progressing in one way or another. And taking lessons, I believe, is very crucial to developing a solid foundation. So really investing in that, your time, your energy into building up a proper foundation, to then when you're going out there, you have a fun, safe time practicing these sports, because they are fun, they're amazing, they look easy, but we gotta go back to it. They are extreme. It's like driving a car on the roads. It's easy in a way, but it's also something that's actually extreme, and you need to be focused, you need to be aware, and you need to know what you're doing. So it's the same thing here, but if you're thinking to learn, plan on taking between 6 to 10 hours over the course of 3 to 5, let's say even 7 days. I would always want to go consecutively with my lessons. So doing a lesson, resting that day, making sure I have energy for the next day, and continuing, because that's going to help with the progress. Now, if you hit a roadblock, a wall, you can always take 1 day off and then start up again. But this sport really has that element that things will click with time, but you just have to keep moving, keep practicing. And if you have a great instructor that's gonna take you along the process, you're gonna have a great time learning this sport. And you're gonna see that no matter how long it takes you, if it's even more than 10 hours, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's gonna take you whatever time it takes you to be comfortable out there, to know what you're doing, and then to have fun with the rest of us. And I go back to it, if you're able to practice this sport, it's honestly, it's a blessing. It's something that is very unique. And if you're fortunate enough to try kiteboarding or wingfoiling wherever it is in the world, or here in Cabarete with us or with anybody, then I highly recommend it. Just do it. It's gonna be a great time. If you're thinking to come down to Cabarete, if you have any questions about what packages we might have, I don't know when you're gonna be watching this video, but we might have different packages, different offerings, and we always try to get people into the sport. You know, in the end, at the end of it, we are watermen ourselves, and we also want to share the stoke, and we just want to have fun out there. So whatever your situation is, if you're thinking to come down and do the sport, just let us know. Let's see if we can help you out and get you set up, and then you're gonna see from there. So that's it, guys, pretty much. If you have any other questions, let me know. My email, my WhatsApp, all our contact details are below. If you're looking to know exactly what our prices are, what packages we might have, our website should always be up to date. So it doesn't matter when you're gonna watch this, you're gonna be able to check it out. But generally speaking, in 2025, that's what it's floating around, $80 to $120 per hour. So you could just multiply that. If you're doing a 6-hour course, an 8-hour course, a 10-hour course, you know, you'd be paying $600, $800, $1,000. But that's gonna include all your equipment, that's gonna include your instructor, and there you're gonna be using that time over the course of like 3 to 7 days. Obviously, conditions and energy allowing, that's gonna be a factor. But in any case, guys, so if you're thinking to get into the sport, do it. If you're thinking to do it with us, send us a message, and hope to see you guys out there in the water. You know, we're gonna include some footage throughout this video so you can see what it's like to learn, what it's like to live the experience in a way. Of course, it's gonna be virtually, but it's a great sport. Kiteboarding and wingfoiling, you in theory could do these things by yourself. I don't recommend it. I have made some videos though. If you are thinking to learn by yourself, and you live somewhere in a lake, or you live even near an ocean and there's just no schools or whatever it might be, then you could in theory do it by yourself. But I would definitely recommend watching a lot of videos, spending a lot of time on the beach, and also just having a pair of eyes on you, whether a rescue boat or someone that's out there able to help you, just in case anything goes wrong. Hopefully not. But if you have the chance to go somewhere and learn, we've had a lot of people fly in from other places in the world to come learn with us, and then they go back home, New Zealand, United States, Europe, and then they practice back there with a solid foundation. And then you get to enjoy Cabarete. So in any case, I'm gonna leave you with that, guys. Enjoy the view of Cabarete on a normal summer day, and I hope you have a great time. Me, myself, I'm actually gonna get out there right now. So this is it. It's Charles Ostrom with Liquid Blue Cabarete in Cabarete, Dominican Republic. And now you know how much it costs to get into the sport, roughly how much time it's gonna take you. And all I can say, and my only advice is, give it a shot. try it out. We also even have 3-hour experiences just so you can have like an accelerated crash course just to see the sport. But it's something unique, and it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain what the sport actually is without you just trying it and seeing it for yourself. So really, if you're trying to get into the sport, try it out, take your time. Everyone learns at a different rate. Just get out there, have fun, enjoy the process, and see you out there. So I'm gonna head out. All right, be good. You.